The Mets 7-game homestand off to a pretty good start as the team swept their 4-game series with the Cardinals at Citi Field this weekend. On Sunday, they clipped the Cards 7-4 for their 15th win of the season. So let's talk about the Amazons. We're going to do it with the host of the Subway to Shea podcast, the one and only Anthony Rivera joins me now. Anthony, what's going on? Vibes seem to be good in Flushing. How are you doing?
Dexter, the smile is very huge on my face. Home sweep home for the New York Mets and a 4-game set nonetheless.
Yeah, don't see that too often against the Cardinals. Haven't swept 4 games against them since 1986, so very impressive job by the Mets there. So when you talk about this sweep, what stood out to you the most about the Mets' performance during their sweep of the Cardinals at Citi Field?
There was a tweet that I made out on Wednesday when the Mets lost to the Twins. And it was kind of a brutal loss, right? They came back, they tied the game, and then they blew it in the extra innings. And I said the test for this team is how they bounce back from these type of losses. We saw it last season. Mendy has the pulse of the team, the pulse of the players, and was able to help them navigate through some of the toughest losses of the season. And here we go. They lose 2 in a row to a terrible Twins team, and we're able to now come in against a Cardinals team where they always have trouble with the St. Louis Cardinals. They found a way to take 4 games set from them. First time, like you said, since 1986. I think it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal for the Mets. Anytime that they have a big loss, that they're able to bounce back and fight their way back and make sure you kind of forget about that loss in the end.
Yeah, well, they made the Mets fans forget about this as they brought out the brooms here at Citi Field. And you're right, it's a lot to do with how you bounce back, Anthony. And speaking of bouncing back, the Mets offense bounced back this weekend. Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, and Francisco Lindor, they all had big moments in this series. Do you feel this is a start of a consistent offensive run from the Mets core bats now?
I think so. And that's with the preface of there will be times where these guys slump again. I mean, it happens all season long. It's a 162 game season. It's a long haul. So you're going to have good spurts. You're going to have them struggle. You're going to have what we saw with Francisco Lindor last season where he was MVP. You got what Juan Soto does. I mean, even look at what Pete Alonso's doing for this team right now. If all 3 of these guys can lead this team like we know they can, there's only good things that are going to happen. That's why this team is 15-7 right now and atop the NL East.
Yeah, huge part of why they are. Another reason why is the Mets starters, Anthony. They've quietly been solid. Is this rotation performing better than you might have expected given all the uncertainty surrounding this rotation coming into the season?
I would have to say so, considering that we don't have Frankie Montas, we don't have Sean Manaea, and those guys are going to be out for a while. But what you're getting from Clay Holmes, who's transitioning back to being a starting pitcher, he has been great. He was great today at the game. Nice quality start from him. He doesn't get the win, but a nice quality start from Clay Holmes. That's all you can ask for from him right now. And you've gotten that ace-like performance. That guy we thought we were getting, that Kodai Senga ace-type performance, we're getting that. And I'm so happy to see that. We've gotten good performances from Griffin Canning as well, and this team seems to be pitching well, and you got to give kudos, who I've not really given kudos to all the time, but Jeremy Hefner and that pitching lab seems to find a way to get these guys going when David Stearns bring them in. So a great job by the starting pitching staff and the bullpen as well.
Yeah, no, Penn has been strong as well, too, for the Metropolitans. And now the Amazons welcome in the Phillies, followed by a 4-game set in Washington. So with that coming up this week, Anthony, what are you most eager to see from this team in these 2 NL East series?
Well, I know that it's the first regular season series since the Mets took care of them in 4 games in the postseason. So you got to think that there's going to be a little hype, a little energy, especially from the Phillies looking to kind of exercise their demons against the New York Mets. New York Mets just got to keep playing their game. They're pitching well. They're hitting well right now. They're hitting on all cylinders. We're getting contributions, but not even to mention from Luis Angel Acuna, Brett Beatty, who started off the season bad, and even, I know he's hurt right now, but Mark Vientos seemed to be turning a corner. So the New York Mets are kind of hitting on all cylinders. It could not have happened at the more perfect time when your division rival Philadelphia Phillies are in play. And one last thing for me is that the Mets fan base be that 10th man like they were during the start of this homestand. The Mets are 9-1 at home this season. The big part of that is the way the fans have turned up and turned out.
Yeah, they have turned out, and they have been turning up at Citi Field. Hope to see more of that throughout the summer with the Metropolitans, as you mentioned, off to a fantastic start. 15-7, still early, first place in the NL East, and we'll see how the Mets do this upcoming week. That is Anthony Rivera, the host of the Subway to Shea podcast. Check him out there. Anthony, always a pleasure to talk some Metropolitan baseball with you. We will do more of that very, very soon.
Same to you, Dex. I appreciate it, buddy.